Do you love or hate your grocery store? A lot may depend on how fresh the food seems, according to a Consumer Reports survey. That survey shows that some supermarkets deliver much fresher food than others.
A few months ago, a woman in her late 60s walked into a Texas superstore and bought a pasta dinner. It was quick. It was easy. It was on sale. 3 weeks later, she was dead. Stories like hers have played out across 18 states. Ready-to-eat pasta meals, and the kind produced by companies like Fresh Realm and sold at some of the biggest stores in America, have been linked to 6 deaths and dozens of hospitalizations. According to the CDC, adults over 65 faced the highest risk of dying. The stores pulled products, they blamed suppliers, and then they went right back to business. But I didn't forget, and neither should you. We're living in the age of the Supercenter. Walmart, Target, Costco, Sam's Club, Kroger Marketplace. Massive stores that promise you can get everything in one trip. Groceries, prescriptions, tires, a new TV, and lunch from the deli counter, all under one roof. For decades, that sounded like progress. Less driving, more convenience, lower prices. But here's what nobody told you. When you combine food with everything else, food stops being the priority. And when a corporation is managing thousands of products across thousands of stores, corners get cut. And when something goes wrong, it doesn't stay local. It spreads everywhere. Today, we're pulling back the curtain. We dug through FDA recall data, CDC outbreak reports, the Dunnhumby Retailer Preference Index, and what real shoppers are experiencing on the ground. 6 supercenters are failing you. 5 are still worth your trust. Will your local store make the list? Let's find out. We're starting at number 6 on the worst list, and this one might surprise you. Number 6 worst, Target. The store with the cute red carts, the clean aisles, the lighting that makes everything look a little nicer than it actually is. For years, Target sold you a feeling. Walk through those doors and you're not at Walmart. You're somewhere better, somewhere that respects you, somewhere with standards. That's the story. Here's the truth. When it comes to food, Target is a clothing store with a refrigerator in the back. I'm not exaggerating. The Dunnhumby Retailer Preference Index surveys over 11,000 American shoppers and ranks the 81 biggest food retailers in the country by combining customer perception with financial performance. Target doesn't crack the top tier. It ranks below Costco, below Aldi, below Trader Joe's, below Winco, below regional chains you've probably never heard of, like Woodman's in Wisconsin and Market Basket in Massachusetts. Think about that. A store with nearly 2,000 locations across America can't outrank a regional chain with fewer than 100 stores. Why? Because Target was never built to be a grocery store. It was built to sell you clothes and home decor and maybe a cute lamp. The food section came later, and it shows. A 2025 investigation by Twin Cities Business, Target's hometown paper, found chronic complaints about in-store messiness, understaffing, long lines, and out of stocks on staples like milk. Milk! They can't keep milk on the shelves. Here's the part that really burns. Target's employees told industry analysts they're stretched by omnichannel responsibilities. Translation: the workers who should be stocking your groceries are busy filling online orders for people who don't even come to the store. You drove there, you walked the aisles, you waited in line, and your reward is an empty dairy case. If you're over 60 and trying to do one weekly shop, constant out-of-stocks mean more trips, more gas, and more strain on your knees and back. Protection tip: Target is fine for paper towels, cleaning supplies, and sealed national brands. But if you're relying on Target for fresh food, especially meat or produce, you're paying department store prices for convenience store reliability. The nicer lighting doesn't make the chicken fresher. Now, Target's sin is pretending to be something it's not, but the next store on our list has a different problem. They actually do have a real grocery operation. The problem is where that food comes from. Number 5 worst, Fred Meyer, Kroger. If you live in the Pacific Northwest, you know Fred Meyer. It's the store that does everything. Groceries, clothes, garden supplies, electronics, all under one roof. It's been around since 1931. Your parents probably shopped there, maybe your grandparents too. For a lot of families in Oregon, Washington, Idaho, and Alaska, Fred Meyer isn't just a store. It's a tradition, which makes what I'm about to tell you harder to hear. Fred Meyer is owned by Kroger, has been since 1998, and that means when you buy a ready-to-eat meal from the Fred Meyer deli, you're not getting something made in the back by a local cook. You're getting something made in a centralized facility, potentially shipped across state lines, and sold in stores across the country. That system works great for keeping prices low and shelves stocked, until it doesn't. In 2024 and 2025, a listeria outbreak linked to ready-to-eat pasta meals spread across 18 states. The contamination was traced to pasta from a supplier called Nate's Fine Foods, which provided ingredients to a company called Fresh Realm. Fresh Realm made meals sold at Kroger, Walmart, Trader Joe's, Albertsons, and Fred Meyer under various brand names. The final toll? 27 confirmed cases, 25 hospitalizations, 6 deaths in Hawaii, Illinois, Michigan, Oregon, Texas, and Utah. One pregnant mother lost her baby. The CDC's warning was blunt. Older adults and people with weakened immune systems faced the highest risk of severe illness and death. That's you. That's me. That's everyone watching this video. Protection tip. If you shop at Fred Meyer, avoid chilled, ready-to-eat meals. Stick to raw ingredients you cook yourself. Canned goods, frozen vegetables, things where heat kills whatever might be lurking. And understand that Fred Meyer isn't really Fred Meyer anymore. It's Kroger with a different sign. Speaking of Kroger, they're next. And their problems go beyond one outbreak. Number 4 worst. Kroger Marketplace, Kroger banners. Kroger is the second largest grocery company in America. They operate nearly 2,800 stores under dozens of names. Kroger, Ralph's, Fry's, Harris Teeter, Fred Meyer, King Soopers, Smith's. If you shop at any of these, you're shopping at Kroger. And right now, Kroger is a company under pressure. The kind of pressure that almost never leads to more staff or better food safety, just more cost-cutting behind the scenes. Let's start with the same listeria outbreak, those deadly pasta meals. Kroger sold them under their Home Chef brand. Same contaminated product, same supply chain. But here's what makes Kroger's situation concerning. Fred Meyer is regional. Kroger is everywhere. When Kroger's supply chain has a problem, it ripples through half the country. That's not a bug in their system. That's the system working exactly as designed, for efficiency, not safety. In late 2024, the Kroger-Albertsons merger collapsed after federal regulators blocked it. Kroger's response? They announced plans to close stores and refocus on stronger markets. Read between the lines, fewer stores, more centralized processing, tighter margins, more pressure on a supply chain that already showed cracks. And the rankings tell the story. In the January 2026 Dunnhumby Retailer Preference Index, Kroger came in 18th place, behind Walmart, behind Publix, behind Aldi, behind a dozen regional chains that most Americans have never shopped at. The LA Times called 2024 one hit after another for Kroger. Protection tip. Kroger stores are fine for pantry staples, national brand canned goods, raw meat you're going to cook to a proper temperature, frozen vegetables. But those convenient deli salads, those grab-and-go pasta dishes, if you're over 50, that shortcut is a gamble. Check the USDA recall page once a month. Kroger products show up there more often than you'd expect. Now, Kroger's problem is a system built for efficiency instead of safety. But the next chain on our list has a different problem entirely. They're not dangerous, they're just not worth your money. Number 3 worst, BJ's Wholesale Club. Let's talk about BJ's. I want to be fair here. BJ's isn't going to send you to the hospital. They haven't had the kind of deadly outbreaks we just discussed. They're not feeding you listeria. But that doesn't mean they deserve your money. Here's the thing about warehouse clubs. You're paying for the privilege of shopping there. That membership fee isn't free. And every year you're betting that the savings inside will be worth more than what you paid to get in. At Costco, that bet usually pays off. At Sam's Club, it's debatable. At BJ's, you might be losing money and not even know it. Let me explain. BJ's has 2 house brands, Wellesley Farms for food and Berkeley Jensen for everything else. The reviews on these brands are not great. Shoppers who've compared them to Costco's Kirkland brand describe them as cut rate and mid. The cheddar cheese tastes off. The baked goods feel cheap. One consumer forum summed it up perfectly. BJ's is mid. Mid, not terrible. Not great, just there. And here's the aha moment. In the 2025 American Customer Satisfaction Index, BJ's scored 77 out of 100. Costco scored 81, Sam's Club scored 83. So you're paying a membership fee to shop at the 3rd-ranked warehouse club for products that people describe as fine, I guess. That's not a deal. That's a hidden tax on your fixed income. And the customer service? One retail analyst described his experience trying to return damaged patio furniture to BJ's. He tried calling, went online, used email countless times, and could never connect. He received a single reply via email saying customer service was busy and would get back within 2 days. No one ever did. That was in July. He was still waiting in November. Protection tip. If BJ's is your only warehouse club option, use it surgically. Paper goods, cleaning supplies, non-perishables where you can clearly see the savings. But if you have a Costco or Sam's nearby, do a 2-month comparison. Bring a calculator. Actually check whether BJ's is saving you money. Because there's a decent chance it's not. And if BJ's loses that comparison, cancel at renewal. Put that membership fee toward groceries at a store that actually earns it. Before we get to the top 2 worst Supercenters, I want to pause for a second. If you've made it this far, you clearly care about protecting yourself and your wallet. That's exactly why I make these videos. Every week I dig through the data and the reports and the fine print so you don't have to. If that's valuable to you, hit subscribe. It's free. And it means you won't miss the next video because we're just getting started. All right, back to the list. BJ's problem is weak value. But the next two stores on our list, they're in a different category entirely. Number 2 is a store that figured out how to make you love shopping there. Sleek app. No checkout lines. It feels like the future. The problem is what they're actually selling you. Number 2 worst, Sam's Club. Sam's Club might be the most seductive store in America. You walk in, you scan your items with your phone, you walk out. No lines, no waiting, no cashier asking if you found everything okay. It's fast, it's smooth, it feels like shopping in 2035, and the numbers back it up. Sam's Club topped the American Customer Satisfaction Index for general merchandise retailers. People love the experience, the app is great. The scan and go checkout is genuinely revolutionary. So why is it number 2 on my worst list? Because Sam's Club is Walmart's warehouse. Same parent company, same supply chain, same centralized food system. And that means the listeria outbreak that has been linked to deaths at Walmart and Kroger runs through the same pipelines that supply Sam's Club. The Slick app doesn't change what's in the food. Here's what's really telling. In the January 2026 dunnhumby rankings, the ones that measure food quality and value, not just how fun it is to skip the checkout line, Sam's Club dropped 6 places. Fell out of the top 10 entirely, landing at number 14. 6 spots in 1 year. Why? Because the digital experience got better, but the food fundamentals didn't. Sam's Club doesn't rank in the top tier for price, doesn't rank in the top tier for promotions, doesn't rank in the top tier for quality. It ranks on convenience. That's it. And here's the thing about convenience. Convenience is great when you're buying paper towels. Convenience is great when you're buying laundry detergent. But convenience in the deli aisle? That's where people get hurt. Protection tip. Sam's Club is fine for bulk dry goods, frozen staples, paper products, over-the-counter medications, but treat their deli and prepared foods with caution. Reheat everything thoroughly. Avoid cold, ready-to-eat dishes if you're over 50 or have any immune issues. And when you're comparing Sam's to Costco, ask yourself what you're really paying for. Is it better food, or is it just a faster checkout? Because faster doesn't mean safer. All right, we've arrived at number 1, the biggest, the most powerful, the store where over 1 in 5 grocery dollars in America gets spent. When this store's system works, it feeds the nation. When it fails, people die. Number 1 worst, Walmart Supercenter. There's a town in rural Arkansas where the only place to buy groceries is Walmart. There's a suburb in Texas where 3 local grocery stores closed in 5 years. The only one left? Walmart. There's a food desert in Mississippi where the nearest fresh produce is 45 minutes away, unless you count the Walmart Supercenter off the highway. This is the reality for millions of Americans. Walmart isn't just a store, it's the store. And in thousands of communities, it's the only option. That kind of dominance should come with responsibility. Instead, it comes with this. 6 deaths have been linked to contaminated pasta meals sold under Walmart's Market-Side brand. The same listeria outbreak that touched Kroger and Fred Meyer, same supply chain, same contaminated pasta from Nate's Fine Foods. The CDC's warning was explicit. Older adults and immunocompromised individuals faced the highest risk. The exact same people who rely on Walmart's cheap prepared foods because they're tired, they're on fixed incomes, and they don't have anywhere else to go. Now, let me be clear, Walmart didn't make the contaminated pasta. A supplier did. But Walmart's entire system, the relentless pressure on price, the centralized distribution, the scale that makes them impossible to avoid, that's what allows problems to spread. When a local grocery store has a bad batch of food, maybe 100 people are affected. When Walmart has a bad batch, it hits 18 states before anyone knows something's wrong, and the rankings tell you everything. In the 2026 dunnhumby Retailer Preference Index, Walmart came in 11th place, behind Costco, behind Aldi, behind Trader Joe's, behind Winco, behind Wegmans, behind regional chains like Woodman's and Market Basket, the largest grocer in America, and they can't crack the top 10. Meanwhile, Walmart's stock just hit all-time highs. The company is doing great, the shareholders are thrilled, but the people actually eating the food, they're an afterthought. Sam Walton built Walmart on a promise: save money, live better. And for a while, that was real. Small-town America could get the same prices as the big cities, but somewhere along the way, save money became the only thing that mattered. And the live better part got sacrificed to the supply chain. Protection tip: treat Walmart as a tool, not a trusted kitchen. Safer bets: canned goods, sealed frozen vegetables, household supplies, over-the-counter medications, high-risk categories, chilled, ready-to-eat meals, deli salads, pre-cut produce, anything you'd eat cold straight from the fridge. If you live in a Walmart-only area, and millions of you do, cook from raw ingredients as much as possible. Avoid cold-prepared dishes, and check the FDA and USDA recall pages once a month. Because Walmart products show up there regularly. Now, we've covered the worst. 6 supercenters that are failing American families in different ways. Weak value, centralized risk, premium illusions, systems designed for efficiency instead of safety. But surely someone is getting it right. Surely there's somewhere you can shop without gambling every time you fill your cart. There is. 5 supercenters actually deserve your trust, and some of them might change where you shop forever. Let's start with number 5. Number 5 best, Winco Foods. What if I told you there's a discount grocery chain that matches Walmart's prices without the Walmart problems? In 10 Western states, that chain exists. It's called Winco Foods. You might not have heard of them. They don't advertise much. They don't have a fancy app. Most of their stores look like warehouses from the 1990s. But here's what they do have. The 6th highest ranking in America, according to the Dunnhumby Retailer Preference Index. Higher than Trader Joe's, higher than Amazon, higher than Wegmans. A discount grocery chain that most people have never heard of, outranking some of the most famous names in food. How? Winco is employee-owned. Over 20,000 workers own a piece of the company through an employee stock ownership plan. They're not working for some hedge fund in New York. They're working for themselves. And that changes everything. When employees have a stake, they care. They pay attention. They don't cut corners. Winco's bulk bins are legendary. You can buy exactly as much flour, rice, nuts, or cereal as you need. For a household of 1 or 2 people sick of watching food spoil before you can finish it, this is a revelation. No more buying a 5-pound bag of oats because that's the only size they sell. Get exactly what you'll use. Now here's the catch. Winco only has about 144 stores across 10 states. California, Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Nevada, Arizona, Utah, Texas, Oklahoma, and Montana. They're expanding, eyeing Colorado next, with plans for more openings in the Mountain West through 2026. Not closures, openings. That's exactly what you want to see in a value-driven chain. What to do? If you have a Winco, use it as your primary grocery store. The prices are real, the quality is there. The employee ownership model means people actually give a damn. If you don't have a Winco, use it as your benchmark. Proof that cheap prices and good quality don't have to be a trade-off. The national chains just want you to believe they do. Number 4 best, Meijer. Meijer is the store Walmart should have been. One-stop shopping, groceries, clothes, pharmacy, garden center, electronics, all under one roof. Same promise as Walmart, same convenience. But with one crucial difference. Meijer has been family-owned since 1934. Hendrik Meijer opened his first store during the Great Depression in Greenville, Michigan. The family still runs it today. That matters. Because when a family owns the store, they think in generations, not quarters. They're not trying to juice the stock price for Wall Street. They're trying to build something that lasts. And you can feel it when you shop there. The stores are cleaner. The employees are more helpful. The food is better. In many Midwest markets, Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Kentucky, Wisconsin, Meijer is preferred over Walmart despite Walmart's massive national advantage. Meijer has about 270 stores, all in the Midwest. That's their territory, and they defend it well. Here's what I appreciate about Meijer. They haven't chased national growth at any cost. They could have expanded faster. They could have taken on debt. They could have cut corners to compete with Walmart on price. Instead, they stayed focused. They invested in their stores. They took care of their markets. And that discipline is exactly why they avoided the problems we talked about earlier. No massive centralized supply chain disasters. No recurring listeria headlines. No death count. Just solid, reliable, family-run grocery. What to do? If you're in the Midwest and you've been defaulting to Walmart or Target out of habit, stop. Drive to Meijer instead. You'll get the same one-stop convenience with better food and a better experience. No membership card required. Number 3 best, Wegmans. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you looked forward to grocery shopping? Not tolerated it, not powered through it, actually looked forward to it. For most people, the answer is never. Grocery shopping is a chore. Something you do because you have to eat. But Wegmans customers, they're different. They'll drive past 3 other stores to get to Wegmans. They'll plan their weekends around it. They'll tell you about it at parties like they're describing a vacation. It sounds crazy until you understand what Wegmans actually is. Wegmans is a family-owned grocery chain with about 110 stores in the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic. New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina. They ranked 9th in America in the 2026 Dunnhumby Index, with 110 stores, competing against chains with thousands of locations. How? Quality. Relentless, obsessive quality. The prepared food section at Wegmans, the exact category that's created problems at Walmart and Kroger, is actually a destination. Restaurant-quality meals, transparent sourcing, a track record that doesn't include recurring contamination scandals. Wegmans treats prepared food like it matters, because for millions of busy families, it does. Now here's the trade-off. Wegmans isn't cheap. You're going to pay more than you would at Walmart, sometimes a lot more. But here's the question. What are you really paying for? At Walmart, you're paying less money but accepting more risk. At Wegmans, you're paying more money for peace of mind. For someone over 50 with higher risk from food-borne illness, that math might actually make sense. What to do? If you have a Wegmans nearby, use it for the high-risk categories. Deli, prepared meals, seafood, bakery, the stuff where quality and safety really matter. Then balance your budget by getting pantry staples from a discounter like Aldi or Winco. Best of both worlds. Number 2 best, Costco. There's a reason over 130 million people pay $65 a year just for the right to shop at Costco. And no, it's not the $1.50 hot dog, though that doesn't hurt. It's this. Costco is one of the only stores in America where you can trust that cheap prices and good quality come together, where the house brand isn't a gamble, where the employees actually get paid well enough to care. In the January 2026 dunnhumby rankings, Costco came in 4th place nationally. That's the highest-ranked warehouse club in the country. While Sam's Club dropped 6 spots, Costco held steady. Why? Because Costco didn't chase the shiny tech. They focused on fundamentals: price, quality, trust. Let's talk about Kirkland's signature for a minute. Kirkland is Costco's house brand, and unlike most store brands, which are usually cheaper versions of the real thing, Kirkland products often match or beat the national brands in blind taste tests. Kirkland olive oil, Kirkland vodka, Kirkland batteries, Kirkland toilet paper. These aren't knockoffs. They're legitimately good products at legitimately lower prices. And Costco's recall rate is among the lowest in the industry. When there's a problem, they address it fast and transparently. No hiding, no blaming suppliers, and moving on. Now, here's something that shouldn't matter, but absolutely does. Costco pays their employees well. Starting wages around $18 to $19 an hour. Benefits, retirement plans, a career path. Compare that to the industry average of $12 to $14 an hour. When you pay people enough to live, they stick around. They learn the job. They care about doing it right. And that shows up in every aisle. Now, Costco isn't perfect. Let's be honest about the trade-offs. The bulk sizes are designed for families, not couples. If you're a household of 1 or 2, you need discipline. Buy what you can freeze. Focus on non-perishables. Don't let produce rot because you bought more than you can eat. The stores are crowded. The parking lots are a nightmare on weekends. The checkout lines can make you question your life choices. But the fundamentals, price, quality, trust, Costco delivers. What to do? If you can handle the bulk buying, make Costco your primary warehouse club. Meat you can freeze, pantry staples, frozen produce, over-the-counter medications. Skip the stuff that'll spoil before you use it, and go on Tuesday morning if you value your sanity. Number 1 best, H-E-B, H-E-B Plus. Let me tell you about a grocery store that makes people irrationally happy. H-E-B is a Texas-based chain. About 435 stores throughout Texas and Mexico. That's it. Regional, limited, nothing like the nationwide reach of Walmart or Kroger. And yet, while other chains are closing locations and cutting staff, H-E-B is still opening new stores and formats. Multiple new locations planned across the Dallas-Fort Worth area alone in 2026. That's the trajectory of a winner. In the January 2026 dunnhumby Retailer Preference Index, H-E-B was ranked number 1 in America. For the 5th time in 9 years, for the 4th consecutive year. Not Costco, not Trader Joe's, not Amazon with all their data and logistics, not Walmart with their massive revenue. H-E-B, a grocery chain from San Antonio. And here's what's even more remarkable. For the first time ever, the top 3 spots in the national rankings all went to regional chains. H-E-B at number 1, Market Basket from Massachusetts at number 2, Woodman's from Wisconsin at number 3. The era of national chains dominating by default is over. The regionals are winning, and H-E-B is leading the charge. How? The dunnhumby report put it simply, H-E-B delivers a superior combination of better savings, quality, experience, and assortment. They don't make you choose. Low prices and good quality, convenience and care, efficiency and food that won't kill you. The H-E-B Plus format adds general merchandise. Think Walmart-style one-stop shopping without degrading the food. Proof that you can build a supercenter the right way. And the company keeps investing in its communities. New stores, local sourcing. After the Central Texas floods in July 2025, H-E-B and the Butt family donated $5 million toward recovery efforts. They act like they actually live where they sell. Because they do. Here's the thing about H-E-B that drives people crazy. You can't get it everywhere. If you don't live in Texas, you're out of luck. But that's also why it works. H-E-B didn't try to take over the world. They tried to take care of Texas. And Texas loves them for it. What to do? If you have H-E-B or H-E-B Plus, make it your primary store for everything. fresh meat, produce, prepared foods, pantry staples, all of it. You're not gambling, you're shopping at the best grocery operation in America. And if you don't have H-E-B, use them as your standard. The benchmark, the proof of what's possible when a company actually prioritizes food. When you're deciding where to spend your money, ask yourself, is this store giving me the H-E-B experience? Or are they just taking my money and hoping I don't notice the difference? Because there is a difference, and now you know it. Remember those stories from the beginning? A woman in Texas who walked into a superstore for a quick dinner and never walked out of the hospital. She didn't have this video, you do. 6 supercenters are gambling with your health. 5 actually deserve your money. Now you know which is which. But knowing isn't enough. You have to act. 3 things to do this week. 1. Look at where you've been shopping. Is it on the worst list? Consider switching. 2. Go to fda.gov and bookmark the recall page. Check it the first of every month. 3. Tell one person about this video, your spouse, your neighbor, your friend from church. They're at risk too. Hit subscribe so you catch the next video. And click on whatever YouTube is showing you right now. Because I've got more secrets the big stores don't want you to know. Your grocery list just became your action plan. Use it. See you in the next one.